So finally, the update is upon us. Outriders has been officially updated. We're going to go over the full patch notes in just a moment, plus reactions from the community, because guess what? They're mixed, which is not a surprise given the previous patches, but we're going to talk about those reactions in just a moment and dive into the latest happenings around Outriders. Let's do this. Hey everyone, what's happening? Overworld Games here, hope you're doing good. And yes, we are once again visiting Enoch, talking about Outriders. Let's dive into the post from Square Enix Community Manager, which is called Outriders has been updated, 25th of May, 2021. So let's go over this post right now, shall we? I think we should zoom it in, though. Let's do that. It says, our latest patch has now been released. Patch notes. Fix a bug that was causing armor values to not be calculated properly under certain circumstances, leading players to take unintended increased damage. It's going to be the damage mitigation fix, which is finally here, apparently. Now, there's going to be mixed reactions in just a moment that I'm going to go over. But it says, change the damage behavior of Broodmother enemies to prevent them from one-hit killing players in under certain circumstances. Now, they also address an issue that could cause players to be able to, be unable to sign in under certain circumstances as well. They added telemetry to better track and diagnose any outstanding sign-in issues, fixes for crashes, and other minor bug fixes. Now they go on to say this, important, there's a known outstanding issue where the damage blocked stat on an expedition results screen can occasionally appear inconsistently or abnormally low. This appears to be purely cosmetic issue with the results summary screen, not an issue with the damage mitigation overall or during gameplay. So they need to get that fixed. It says, I'm also planning to kick off an updated known investigated issues thread later this week, so please do keep an eye out for that. That's going to be an interesting one. It says, in the meantime, please do use this thread to report any outstanding issues, of course. So that's what we're going to be looking for. And then also, in particular, anyone that's having issues after installing the patch as well. And then in particular, I would be keen to hear whether you continue to encounter any mods, skills, or gear items consistently not working as intended. So yeah, they're curious about feedback regarding all that stuff there. But yes, it's good to see that they are on their way updating this game, and they do currently plan to have more patches rolling out in the future. And again, they previously had said, Square Enix have been very transparent about the fact that, yes, there's going to be more Outriders content in the future as well. Now, here's the question here from Mike Mulaga, who says, all this time for like 6 fixes rip. And the community manager responded saying, as explained a few times previously, this patch is primarily focused on the damage mitigation issue. Now, other fixes are in the pipeline, but we want to keep this patch slimmed down to be able to focus on damage mitigation. So yeah, we're going to get into the replies about how people are receiving this patch as well. So you know what, let's dive into it right now. So we have this thread right here. First and foremost, it says, this patch made a difference for me playing on PC, but here's the real issue in my opinion. This is fascinating. This comes from I Helped one, and it says, there is a marked difference in the behavior of the Broodmother's melee attack, both standing and lunging, which was where a majority of the one-shots were coming from what I've noticed. I play on PC, it actually, seems like all elites have a reduced melee damage output. I tested this on my Devastator gear level 36 and level 7 expeditions. I played them last night for hours and had trouble surviving against elites because I have no defensive mods. I just played for about an hour and the difference is very noticeable. However, the Perfios and Alpha Perfios are still kind of BS if they gang up on you, same as before. It almost seems like they melee harder than elites now. This leads me to the conclusion based on the patch notes. Now it says, let me know also, guys, if this is the case for you. Sound off in the comments below if you have any issues with this as well. But let's keep going, shall we? It says, it would seem that the behavior that was changed for the Broodmother was reducing its melee damage output in conjunction with whatever armor bug was fixed, but the melee damage outputs for the Perforos and Alpha Perforos have remained unchanged. Interesting indeed. So it seems like things need to be adjusted still. So it says this. So it would seem that People Can Fly is going to have to do a good nerf You're going to have to nerf the melee damage of Perforos and Alpha Perforos and understand that people are just going to solo CT-15s. I know your vision was that challenge tier 15s were only going to be able to be completed by well-coordinated teams, but this has not been the case, and players are now conditioned for a certain outcome. It's just the way it is. So yeah, right now with Outriders, I feel like they need to completely adjust whatever strategy they had beforehand, considering, their servers are not the best. They need to adjust it for single player, players, and allow for CT-15s to be something that can be completed solo going forward. Until like DLC is released, if they're going to do like raids or something like that, that's where the group content would be. But you have to have stable servers, you have to have matchmaking that works to even have group content. But anyway, let's keep going now. He says this: I know you had a vision, one that I think is great, but you're going to have to wait until you release the DLC to try to make that happen, in my opinion. Yes, absolutely. And he says, raise the CTs to 20 in DLC or whatever, make the rewards worth it, and try to go from there. Now, they say you might be worried people will stop playing if a lot of people are soloing CT-15s, but I think a lot of people will stick around and actually return if you buff some underperforming mods to make them viable so people can build crazy off-meta characters. I could create a laundry list of buffs, but I'm sure you get the main idea. I agree. I think more people will actually stay in the game if they could solo challenge tier 15, but my personal opinion is that you have to combine that with increased legendary drop rates as well. So they got to fix that as well. Now, he says this: a Warframe-esque game was probably not what you were going for, but I really think that would be healthy for a game at this point. The campaign is fantastic, co-op is a lot of fun when it works, and the gameplay is on another level. That's a great foundation to build on. But just like any other contractor building a house, you're going to have to alter your initial plans when a problem comes up. This is your issue to work around. This comes from a player with 300 player plus hours and solo challenge tiers on my main. So he has some experience here, and I really do like the opinions. They shouldn't be afraid at all to embrace, Warframe as a possible solution, I guess you would say, to their problem. Now, we do have a different take on the patch recently as well. Let's take a look at this one here. It says, so you took a month to fix what exactly? Now, if we go and follow this link right here, and this one comes from Lolian, we go to the game clips. This is not good. You play this, and we have a Perfero Broodmother, and as you can see, the one-shot instant kill right here. That is not cool. You can see his health is 100% as well. There's a bunch of replies to this thread as well. Matt had a reply as well right here, but the community manager is going back and forth trying to discover what happened in this clip. And it just seems like a mess. Now, this is the only instance I have seen reported on the Reddit so far that people are still getting one-shotted like this, but it still seems like a weird problem people are having in the game. And it still seems like it exists in some manner. We'll see what happens with it. I'll keep you guys updated to see if this patch actually did something and addressed the problem or not. Just have to give it time, of course, to see what happens here. But it seems like a lot of you are, back trying the game. So you're going to have to sound off and let me know what you think of it. Guess what time it is? It is time for your top comments. Remember to leave a comment down below. We're going to go over the recent video I did. This one is actually a really interesting one. For sure. So let's dive into it right now, shall we? Alright, so my recent video was called Level 70 Weapons Discovered. Big patch update, brand new updates from Square Enix. So this is really interesting because the player discovered level 70 weapons. It was apparently perhaps some sort of glitch, but there's a part of the community that feels like this is perhaps some sort of, whether it's an unintentional or intentional tease to a level cap increase for weapons and, of course, perhaps even gear. We'll see what happens with that, but I would imagine with the next DLC or update, we would be seeing a level cap increase for whatever expansion they would be planning. At least that's my assumption. That would make sense. All right, so let's go into the comments, see how you guys are feeling about this one. NBK Yodi says, legendary increased drop rate. Oh boy, the cannonball gear will be falling from the sky now. And he has a good point. Even if they do increase the legendary drop rate, you're still going to be getting gear you don't want. So, like Anthem, Anthem had this same issue, they would have to actually go into the RNG system and rework the mathematics of that to give you good gear. But the simplest solution is actually having Tiago, boom, got it, Tiago, help out with the shop. So, and offer legendaries in rotation. That's going to be the easiest solution right there. Now we have Sinister Monkey, who says, definitely have enjoyed the game in a whole, but I have had to put it on the back burner until it's gotten a more stable and actual finished product. Just keep on keeping on, developers. It'll get there and has potential to be a great game. I love this comment. I love, that people are willing to root for Square Enix, for People Can Fly, because, again, overall, I still enjoy Outriders. And unlike Anthem, I don't want to see this franchise just die off. I still cannot believe what EA did with Anthem next. It really pisses me off. Now, Shadow says this right here. He says, I made it all the way to the end game despite constant server crashes and lags. So it seems like a lot of you still stuck with the game despite the issues. Virtual Anomaly says, me almost done completing game solo. Only challenged tier 12 through 15 left. Nice. So you could see a lot of you guys are playing the game solo right there. Again, I think it's wise for People Can Fly to perhaps embrace that. Andrew says, I'm still crying the hell out of Outriders and still enjoy it. Can't wait for the new patch and hope they get it right. Absolutely. Kurt Nordley, I believe it is, Nordley, says, in my opinion, People Can Fly should allow players one self-revive when running Expedition solo. I strongly feel this would improve the game. Again, things that should definitely be included in whatever next big patch they're working on. As long as this new patch that we just had released hasn't caused any more problems, we'll see. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Outriders news and updates. I got you guys covered on this game. We'll see how much they communicate throughout this entire week, considering the patch is out, or if they go dark for a long time. Hopefully they don't go dark for a long time here. But, since we are at the end of May, by the way, and heading into June, that means that we're going to be seeing E3 2021. There's good indication that we would be hearing from Outriders during E3. So, perhaps we would have a tease to what's to come for Outriders as a franchise. We shall see. All right, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.